Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Right after shir today, which, by the way, good news, we're gonna have to skip a few of the emails, and we're gonna have to finish very close to 8 o'clock. Rav Dambi, don't worry about it. But literally taxi waiting outside. I hope outside. Maybe I have to walk down to my house. Taxi waiting. I gotta get into the taxi, go to the airport immediately. So it all started yesterday. I had to give 3 shiurim. 2 English, actually 4 shiurim. Sorry. No, 3 shiurim. 1 English, 2 Hebrew. So after I gave 2 daf in Hebrew, prepared 2 daf yesterday, going on very little sleep yesterday, today, packing the whole thing, and the fun begins. Going to Hatzlacha requires a different schedule of learning, different shiurim, different places, and funny places in the airport, in basements, in all sorts of places. But I'm saying this because it's difficult for the olam, and I'm asking the olam to stick to it. You hear Nechemia, stick to it. Even sometimes when I leave, it's fun to leave the shir afterward, but stick to it. I know it's hard, stick to it. Rabbi say the olam, half the olam, a lot of guys from the shir actually are here in Georgia. Where are they? Where are the Kamianskis in Georgia? Yeah. Here, so they did a little good morning Rabbi say from Georgia.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Here's Hillel, Mr. Machlaikis guy, all the way on the right, on the left. A lot of guys. Eli Berg, that's Eli in the front. Eli Bergowitz organizes this. It started out with I actually went with him one year. Well, in the beginning, nobody was there, just me and him, and maybe. But now it's like, how many people go there? Your kids are there, no? Hundreds of kids, and then hundreds. They take over Georgia over there. Rabbi said the Amarit's license plate was spotted. Eli Dam. He's from Argentina, and he started learning the shir in the beginning of Sanhedrin. I can't believe that we're already holding Daf Kuf Dalid. I'm really enjoying the shir. It's geschmack, it's sweet, and I didn't fall off the bandwagon because I listened to your advice that if you miss a day, you skip forward. It definitely changed my life, and I thank here. This is a very important thing. I thank the person who sent this on a status, and he joined our shir through status, and I'm going to talk about that Be'ezer Hashem in middle of shir. Halavai, the shir was in Argentina, he says. And also here's another one. His name is Yaakov Rubin. I'm in the shir a long time. I was doing Daf Yomi a long time, but Shafsi Cohn pushed me, another Shafsi Cohn guy, to start your shir, and since then my life has changed. I started running after Daf Yomi. My entire days around the Daf. My wife says that something changed in me. I became a better person. And this is the first time that I'm on vacation. Instead of watching a movie, I watch the Daf. It's a lot more geschmack, says Yaakov Rubin. You know what? I'll just show you this real quickly. If you have a cell phone, a smartphone, take it out now and scan this with your camera. I'm going to show it soon, and I'll tell you why. This will put the phone number on the bottom, 050-5671-404. We should split it up because if a lot of people do it at the same time, it's going to overload the system a little bit. It's okay. I want the system to overload. This is it. If this is easier for you, do this. And let's go to the sponsors, and I'll explain to you what's going on there. The Masechta sponsor lirfo Shmuel Ben Chaim Ettel and Yosef Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama by their grateful family, anonymous. For the Hatzlacha Baruch ובגשמיות, Larry Cohn, in memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim, who started learning Daf Yomi at age 70 and continued for 32 years until he was nifter. Anonymous, for the unity of the Jewish people, Glenn Esterson, with loving gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. Monthly sponsors, Leah Zechrya Ben Moshe, Leah Chaya Bas Yosef, Parnasa Birevach, Baruch Tzvi Nissim Ben Shoshana Leah, ActualEyes, and Hatzlacha B'Parnasa. Coil sponsors, or boys, if you want to blow your nose, now's the time to blow your nose. Do not, Michael, do not blow your nose during shir. It is a Isser Chomer in this shir. Very good, very good. Moshe Zaret, anybody else? Let's get with it. Somebody came to me with Kas. He's like, certain guy blows his nose so loud in Milshana, you don't understand what it does to the people listening. I said, I'm not the only Meshugana. Okay, good. Koil sponsors of the month. Thank you, Rebelli's wife, kids, for the great sacrifices they make, allowing him to spread Torah to the masses. One of the sacrifices they have to do, as being my children, is fly business class. I feel bad for them. And that is 100% because I give the share, and I want to thank that person again for giving us that treat. My kids were very, very excited. My wife is super excited. The entire day she's talking about it and thanking the shir for that. Shkoyach Gadol, whoever you are, Mr. Anonymous. Daily sponsors, he might be in the room, I don't know. Daily sponsors, happy birthday, Baruch Burger. Is he here? Mazel tov. How old? 40?
40 plus.
MDY Kids Monthly Innovations, Chus for Official, Chana Akiva, Rivki, Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the Month. For Shleimo, for Yohatan Eitan, Ben Batsheva, Bracha. Amen. For Chus for Rebellion, and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. In honor of Yossi Klein and Margaret Ashkenazi for all the work they do. You know, let me see if I have it. Let me just tell you real quickly. Be'ezer Hashem, we're starting a brand new initiative. I think this is a real game changer for MDY. All the new people that are coming into the Daf, this is for people that want to be ambassadors, and I'll explain what that means. All the new guys that are coming in, and even if you're in the shir, you can be part of this, but specifically if you are brand new. What happens is you start something out with enthusiasm, and then eventually you fade away, you forget, you this, you that. It takes some people takes 2 days, some people takes 2 weeks. The idea is to get the new people to stick with it for like 100 days, and once they get that habit, it's built into them, they'll stay for life. So how do you get somebody to stay for 100 days? Perhaps one of the ideas is to get them on a group, a WhatsApp group or any kind of group. It works very well with WhatsApp. And they get on, and there's one daily reminder. Did you do the daf? There's a poll. You just click, so it doesn't bother all the people in the group. 100 clicks is not going to ring 100 times. If somebody does not click on it, so the ambassador, that's the idea of the ambassador will contact them, give him a gentle reminder. So that's all the ambassador does. Ambassador doesn't have to write anything. Adarabba, the less you put on the group, the better. The Noam Fix will be running it for the first few months, and then he'll see if he wants to continue. But there will be, the top ambassadors or whatever, they will give ideas of what the line of the day is, or what the video of the day, whatever it is, and Noam will make the final decision, and they will give it out to all ambassadors. We have, I want to say, just last night when I put this on the Hebrew, 10 people clicked in and said they want to be ambassadors. We have over 40 people that want to be ambassadors, but what? Right now, people are clicking in. Okay, great. We already have ambassadors for certain cities, so not everybody that wants to be ambassador will be an ambassador, but it's a schos to be on top of 50 to 100 people, a group, and let's say you're in London and you're an ambassador, so maybe once a month you get together with your group, you make a barbecue, you remind the people for the siyum. It becomes a little bit more personal rather than being one of 30,000 people. Now you're one of 100, and you get meet up. You have in-person shiurim or whatever it is, and the accountability part. And within the group, you could also have the option of having an accountability partner, of having another person. You don't have to, but another person that in constant reminders and you're in touch with that person. We want to see how it's going to work now for Makis, everybody that signs up and gets this amazing, I'm serious, this is unbelievable. It's amazing with the calendar, so everybody in this year could get one. All you need to do is, and we'll talk about it, if you put it on your status and somebody joins because of your status, you get a free Gemara. Now, we have to speak to Yosef to ship these to Eretz Yisrael. I don't know about Eretz Yisrael. They better come here. We need it here, the Chuf. So somebody remind Yossi Klein, I forgot to tell him yesterday, please put a... But they did send us? Beautiful. It's in Eretz Yisrael, so if you're here in Eretz Yisrael, you get it in America for sure. We already stripped out, I think, 500 yesterday alone. 500. So Be'ezer Hashem, the idea is, if anybody has ideas, how to retain people that are joining this year. Let's go. Rabbi said we're holding by Sila Kol Abirai Hashem B'Kirbi. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. In my Gemara, it's 12 lines from the bottom. In the new Art Scroll Gemara, it's 12 lines from the bottom, because the new Art Scroll is based on the Oiz V'Hadar, but eventually they are going to figure out a way to do it on the regular Gemara without changing the lines. Because right now, Oiz V'Hadar with the Nekudas is different than any other Gemara. So this and the Oiz V'Hadar are identical right now. Works well for me. Sila Kol Abirai Hashem B'Kirbi. And also to remind the Olam that there will be a shir in the Beis Medrash every single day at the same time, b'li neder, trying as hard as I can. There'll be food once in a while or every day, in Hebrew and in English, regular time, come one, come all. It's a good idea to come, to continue that ritzifos and something that you're familiar with, the Seder. Says the Gemara, Sila Kol Abirai Hashem B'Kirbi. Kol Adam Shoymel Chaveroi Nifsel Matbezu. Hashem says, like you take a coin and people step on it until you can't see what it is. It's worth nothing. So that's what happened to Klal Yisrael. Potzu Alayich Piem. Omer Rav Omer Rabbi Yochanan. B'shul Ma Higdim Pei La'ayin. So if you remember, Eicha is written in the Aleph Beis. Aleph Beis Gimel Daled Hey. That's in Perek Aleph, everything's great. Once it comes to Perek Beis and Gimel Daled, it flips the Pei and the Ayin. Usually Pei comes after Ayin. In Eicha, the Pei, only in the second Perek and on, the Pei is before the Ayin. What's the pshat? B'shvil meraglim shomru b'piem mashe lo ra'u b'eineim. Because the meraglim, they really didn't see. They didn't have a filter. What came out of their mouth was quicker than what they wanted to say, what they saw with their eyes. The Mefarshim ask, if they didn't see, so there shouldn't be the letter Ayin at all. It should just say Pei, without the Ayin. So the Mefarshim say a beautiful idea that we can relate to as well, and that is that they did see. But they saw after they made up their minds with their mouth. They came up with an idea. They had an idea that this is what it's going to be in Eretz Yisrael. And then, to prove their idea, they saw certain things to back up their idea. What is it called? Confirmation bias? Wow, I like that. You ever heard that? Confirmation bias. You confirm something based on your bias, based on what your preconceived notion, and that's why the ayin is there. They did see it, but they saw what they wanted to see. It happens all the time. You tell somebody something, they hear what they want to hear. It's like you didn't even say that word, and they're like, "What? No, I didn't say that word. I said something completely different." They want to hear that. They think that's what you're about to say. Hashem loikaro. They didn't call out Hashem. Whoever eats steals from the Jew. The bread tastes better. It's a more flavorful bread because it's stolen from the Jew. Famous Maisa, I love this story, where towards the end of the war, the Nazis decided to be nice one day and they gave out extra bread. They gave out like these nice rolls. And the Jew, he grabbed the roll and was so excited, and they walked out, and the three Russian goyim, they beat him up real good and they took his roll. They left him there to die, and he went back to his bunk. He's all tzebrach, and he finally got a piece of bread in his hand, and now not only does he not have bread, he's all beaten up, and he went to sleep hungry. He woke up in the morning, and he sees everybody's dead, laying around dead, and including those three Russians, because the bread was poisoned, and they actually saved his life. Toim tam lechem, she'eino oichel malachmon shel Yisrael. If you don't eat the Jewish bread, eino toim tam lechem. In that case, in that story, which is mamish the reverse of this, then he'll taste the taste of poison. Hashem loikaro, Rav Omer elu adayanim. The people that don't call out to Hashem, these are the bad judges, the corrupted judges. Ushmuel Amar elu milamdi tinoikos. There's a lot of people in this room that say, yep. These are the bad rabbeim, the ones. Unfortunately, in chinuch, a lot of people that go into chinuch, it's a sad thing because it doesn't pay very well, and eventually some. Not always. Once in a blue moon, you have a rotten apple that works his way into the system and destroys children's lives. Elu milamde tinoikos. Mimenon, Omer Ravashi Anshe Knesset Sagdolim Menom. Who decided in the Mishnah? We have this till this very day. Oh, you're not going to get Gan Eden. What, you spoke to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What do you know? Who's going to? Everybody knows what's going on up there. You are going to get. You are, and he's a tremendous tzaddik. He's not. Who told you? Who told you that these 3 kings don't get Olam Haba, and these 4 people? This is already Anshe Knesset Gdoila. The Anshe Knesset Gdoila, we're going to see, they didn't play games. They wanted to add Shlomo HaMelech. We're not even going to mention his name here because it's not nice. They wanted to add one more, meaning Shlomo. But Mus the Yukon Shalaviv, David HaMelech, V'nishtatcha Lefneim. He laid in front of them. V'lo yishgichu aleh. Imagine, you're in the Sanhedrin, and you see David HaMelech, you're not dreaming. This is real. He's laying down in front of you. Garnished. I've seen it before. Comes a fire from heaven and licks the benches of the Sanhedrin like a threat. They didn't care. Comes out a heavenly voice and says, says the Rebbeinu Shalom. This Shlomo HaMelech, he built my house, the Beis Hamikdash, before his own house. It took him 7 years to build mine. His took 13. Now this is very dangerous. Why did David HaMelech put himself out like that? Because we see throughout Shas, Chachamim have the ability to change nature, to change certain things. If they decide, you're making a siyum today? Tomorrow. If they decide that this person doesn't go to Olam Haba, it could have that sort of effect on him, even if Hashem wants him in Olam Haba. The Sanhedrin didn't care. I decide who goes into Gan Eden, who doesn't go to Olam Haba, not you. And then they had to accept that. Darsha Rishumais, new sugya, 3 lines from the bottom. Those who know how to darshan the psukim ayoimrim. Again, Rabbi say another daf of Agadata. I'm going to go fast all the way for 32 more minutes until 8 o'clock or so. All these people in the Mishnah that says Eilam Chelik L'Olam. That's our first Mishnah, Chelik, right? It's called Chelik. Yeshlam Chelik, Eilam Chelik L'Olam. No. Every one of these kings, Menashe, Achaz, they all made it into Olam Haba. Shenemar, it says in Tehillim, and we're going to dash in this pasuk. Li Gilad li Menashe v'Ephraim ois Roshi, Yehuda Mechayki, Moav Sirachzi, Alei Menashe l'Chana li Olei Peleshes Yisrael. Says the Gemara, Li Gilad Ze'achav. Why is Gilad Achav? Who said? Shenof al Berama is Gilad. It's referring to Achav who fell in Gilad. He died in Gilad. Menashe Kimashmai. It says Mefurish in the pasuk Menashe. The other kings, it doesn't say in the pasuk. It's a hint. Says the Marsha, because Menashe is the only one that, according to Rabbi Yehuda, did tshuva. So he goes into Gan Eden, he goes into Olam Haba on his own account, on his own name, Menashe. Ephraim Moiz Roshi, Ze Yeravam, they call him Ephraim. Yeravam comes from Ephraim. Yehuda Mechaykiki Ze Achitophel. Yehuda is referring to Achitophel. Who's Achitophel? David's advisor, who was in a way greater in Torah than David. David learned from him. The Gosim Yehuda. Another person that ain't chelik l'olam haba. No, he doesn't have a chelik l'olam haba. Moav sirachatzi zegechazi. Shalok galiske rechitza. The story we mentioned it. We'll mention again. Naaman comes to Elisha with his tsaras. He heard that Elisha does moifsim. Elisha doesn't even come to the door. He tells him what to do. Go to the river. Be toivel. It works. He comes back. He says, "I got to give the Rebbe a gift. I have to pay for this. It's unbelievable. Doctors couldn't heal me, and the Navi, here's money." Elisha swears, "I'm not going to take any money from you." Okay, you don't take money, So he leaves. Gehazi runs after him and says, No. The Navi had charata. And give me the money. He says, "No problem, here's the money." So Elisha was very upset, and he punished him. Maisis Shahaya, Mamish Haya. My father used to learn with the Rav Shach every single Motzei Shabbos. And Rav Shach came to my bar mitzvah. It was a big thing then. Rav Shach didn't go to any simchas. He came to one Motzei Shabbos. My father didn't come. It was for 2-3 years, every single Motzei Shabbos. I said this already. I used to go see Rav Shach. Okay. My father didn't come, and the phones in those days, what's going on? My mother had pneumonia, so my father couldn't come. So Rav Shach showed up the next day. He showed up in his the long Oldsmobile back in the day. Zchayik was driving it, and he comes out. Imagine Rav Shach coming out. All the kids from Ramat Chana, they were running. And where's he going? Going to Stefansky. Kids are. So, if you know how it goes in the Gdolim's house, nothing changed. My father had to be in America for one of my siblings' medical issues. So he was in America for a very long time with my mother. 3 months. Of course, he left us in Eretz Yisrael by ourselves. We fended for ourselves. It was okay. So all of a sudden, my father calls up. One of those calls, I don't know if you remember, $79 a minute. Leo, I'm sending a telephone. I want you to give it to Rav Shach's grandchild. Okay, bye. Okay. So sure enough, this remember the cordless phones? You have an antenna that comes out like this. Panasonic in Eretz Yisrael $750, in America $35. So you buy it and this, and you become a millionaire. If you're being 3 of them, it pays for your whole ticket. Kids are, I get it. I'm in Punin Yeshiva Tana. I bring it to Yeshiva Tana. All of a sudden, the Anikel comes in. Mamish, like you remember Chaim Kanevsky, the Anikel thing shows up to Panovich. I was mad. I was like, my father's suffering in America over there. He doesn't have any money. He doesn't have a job. You're gonna tell this guy to buy your phone? So he comes to punish. I tell him it's $120. Whatever. He says, you sure? It was supposed to be a gift. I said, I'm positive. He says, you sure? Ask your father. I said, I asked him. $120. He gave me $120, and I never told my father how they was. He was wondering how come it wasn't so smooth since then. He didn't come in. They tried. He knocks on the door and he said, "You have to wait another 5 minutes for him to learn with you." Yeah. Yeah, of course. Says the Gemara. So it's Geichazi Shalok Aliske Rechitza, the story with the dunking in the river. So Rashi says it's a lotion of locking up, lock up doeg in Gan Eden. You're going to see the big problem with doeg. Doeg, the killer, David HaMelech didn't want him in there. No, you're staying in Gan Eden. David HaMelech killed Goliath and he gave Klal Yisrael gas. You're going to let this guy in? He doesn't like. They don't get along, Doeg and David. You hear this, Rabbi Isai? I will make sure that they become great friends. In Gan Eden, everything's different up there. Yeah, you chased me, you rode with me, and you made my life miserable. No, we're best friends now. So we're going to learn these words. Meshuva nitzachas is like a lashon of tshuva nitzachas, like a checkmate. This is a great answer. Omer Rav, tshuva nitzachas yeshiva knesset Yisrael Navi. What was the great answer that Klal Yisrael told the Navi? Omer Lem Navi Yisrael chizru b'tshuva. I want you to do tshuva. Abiseichem shechatu heichanim. Look, if you don't do tshuva, look where your forefathers are. Look where they are. What do you mean, where are they? The same exact cemetery that the Nevi'im are in. They're all dead. The people that didn't do tshuva and the Nevi'im that didn't tshuva. What do you mean, where are they? They're in the same exact spot. That's the tshuva nitzachas. That's the checkmate. In fact, it's not a checkmate. It's not a good answer at all. But the tshuva nitzachas means what Klal Yisrael thought is a great answer. Oh, we got the Navi. No, you didn't get the Navi. What the Navi's going to live forever? They're also in the basic verse. No, the Navi says, no, not talking about where the physical body is, where the caver is. Your forefathers are in a great place because they did tshuva and they admitted they're wrong. What about you guys? You better do tshuva right now, not because everybody dies at the end. The question is, how do you die? Shmuel Amar, what does it mean, tshuva nitzachas? 10 people came and sat in front of the Navi. Do tshuva. They said a good taina. When a husband divorces his wife, he has zero connection to her. That's it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu divorced Klal Yisrael, so we have no connection to him. So we can do averis. Didn't he divorce us? Didn't he put us in galus? Klum yesh lezeh azeh klum. What? There's no divorce documents here. I didn't divorce Klal Yisrael. Does anybody owe me money? Did I sell Klal Yisrael? No. I send you away because of your averis. So yes, they had it seemed like a great cash on the Navi. No, it's not a good cash. Rishalka says, David Avdi, Nebuchadnezzar Avdi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls Avdi is the faithful one, the one that serves me. So why is HaKadosh Baruch Hu calling Nebuchadnezzar a Eved? He's a terrible guy. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows the future, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows the Klal Yisrael are going to come up with this taina. That what? You divorced us. You sent us away to Golos. We don't owe you now. We don't worship you. We worship somebody else. Whoever the president of the United States. Whoever we are. So HaKadosh Baruch says, no. Nebuchadnezzar is my slave. If a slave acquires objects like you, Klal Yisrael, let's say Nebuchadnezzar acquired you, you're meshubah to him. Eved limi nechasim, eved limi nechasim limi. So that's that. I want to stop for a second. My very good friend Noam Fix put out an Agada, Exodus of the Minds. I spoke about it last year. This year I have to speak about somebody else's Agada. But it sold a lot, and it's selling. I was in his car, and he has piles of them everywhere. A lot of Agadas. Bli Ayin Hara. And also, my good friend Nachman Seltzer, I think, I didn't see it, but I saw him signing Agada. Something on Agada. What is it? Agada. My very good friend, Rebbe Chanan Feinstein, a Maggid Shir, in Lincolnwood, he sent me this Agada yesterday, and he asked me to speak about it because he helped put it together. So I'm just going to speak about it for 30 seconds. If you don't buy it only because of the cover, Dayenu. This fabric is it's unbelievable fabric. It matches the cheers in the Beis Medrash too. It's like just for that. But it's a very, very cool concept. I heard Reb Shmuel Bornstein speak about it also. He sent me the clip. It's by Reb Moshe Hubner. Basically, it's called Vigat Lebincha. It's divrei Torah from people that weren't zeichet to have children. G'dolei Hadar that didn't have children. The entire thing. And like the Chazon Ish, many G'dolim didn't have children, and they're with pictures in here. You open it up, and there's a picture of the Gadol, and it's a schus for his neshama. You say a dvar Torah from his. Oh, that's here. Bring it over here. I was talking about Nachman's also. But I'll do. So what? It's in English. Yeah. It's in English. Yeah, it's in English Haggadah. That's the concept. And the size of David is pekever when you say dvar Torah from somebody. So it's a beautiful thing. Whoever wants, they sell it here in Israel. They sell it in America. All these neshamas should have an aliyah, and Reb Moshe Hubner should be very successful in endeavor. And this, Rabbi Isai, is Reb Nachman's Haggadah Shel Pesach. Once we're talking about Haggadah Shel Pesach, Exodus of the Mind, I don't have with me, but I think there's actually a copy somewhere in here. There's one? Okay, whatever. So Zok the Gemara. Even the author of Exodus of the Minds was like, not bad, it's a good idea. No, it's a pretty good idea. Vayle Aruchachem, there's no kinner Rabbi Isai when it comes to Torah, no kinner. Vayle Aruchachem, kinner Sefer, literally the Sefer. Vayle Aruchachem, where are we? Vayle Aruchachem hoyeloisia, asher atem oimrim nia kagoyim kimishpuchois ha'arotzois l'shoreis eitz v'even, chayom v'yimum Hashem leikim. Hashem says, I'm going to rule over you with anger, so to speak. Omer of Nachman. If you're so upset at us and you're mad at us, so just let us free. What do you want from us? Against our will. The Bradivchiver on Tisha B'Av, there's a minhag in a lot of places in Eretz Yisrael. I don't know why. Some of the Israelis were very familiar with what I was talking about. The kids, they throw these things called bupkis. Especially in Bnei Brak and in certain places, they take like little, it's like little, not rocks, it grows on a tree like peas, pea-sized things, throw it at adults. They tie their shoelaces, drive people crazy. So there's a shul, I guess it started in Europe, this minhag, a weird minhag. That's the tying of the Simchas Torah. I just added that thing just for, but the bupkis, so people understand, it's called bupkis. That's what it's called. Green things, it's like little pebbles and rocks, and they just throw it at adults because the adults are not suffering enough with the fasting and everything. They need the kids to drive them crazy. So the adults were upset at the children. The whole fight going on. So but the Shiva said something similar to this, like Rebbeinu Shleilam. Why do we need this yontif for? Just take this whole yontif away from us. We don't need it anymore. That's the idea. You're upset at us, so take it away. B'Yisrael mishpat delikov yorenu. Omer Rabbi Bar Chana Omer Lem Novi Yisrael Chizru b'tshuva. I love this. Always with excuses. Do tshuva. Rabbi say do tshuva. Omer Loi ein ani yichaylim. We can't physically. Why? It's a hard shaylas banu. We don't have control. We're addicted. Whatever it is, people have different. We're addicted, or it's not my fault. My parents treated me a certain way, so I don't. A trauma. What is it called? What did I call it? Retroactive trauma. What?
PTSD.
No, I made a new one. What is it? Retroactive trauma clarification. Whoever doesn't know what that is, we're talking about chinuch for the new guys. We're talking about chinuch at the table, and my daughter has the new age chinuch system, which is, I want to talk about it also. Well, I spoke about it yesterday with the shla. That if you're not mechanach and you don't discipline your children, it's like cooking your children, right? That's how we finished off the shir on a beautiful note. So she was giving me her things. She saw these shiurim mefurish on YouTube. It's TikToks and all the good sources, very good sources. And it's Yidua. Everybody's mechanech like this today. You guys didn't know what you're doing. The whole thing. So I said, what are you going to do about retroactive trauma clarification? Do you know what that is? No. I said, if you don't know what that is, you can't even have a discussion with me. It's something I made up on the spot because we're just learning in the article says retroactive clarification. So I said, okay, we'll do what? Breyer. We're learning the sugi Breyer, retroactive clarification. I figured if I add the word trauma to it, it'll sound cool. Retroactive trauma clarification. Stuck it in the middle, and she had no clue. That was it. That was the end of. That's a tshuva nitzachas. Tshuva nitzachas. Zog the Gemara. Tikiyah. We have trauma, we have this. People do. You know why I killed that guy? Because when I was a kid, what's his name? The Unabomber. You know why he killed all these people? Because when he was 2 years old, he was in the hospital in isolation for 3 months. And maybe he couldn't control himself. That's how he grew up. The psychologists have all these excuses for everybody. Says, I don't see the taina. What do you mean the Yitzhar? You have addiction. So control yourself. Every person has that ability at the end. Yeah, it's very hard. It's much harder than everybody else. I get it. But still, you have that ability to control. No, we don't agree with you. Let Hashem break the Yitzhar. We don't want to do it. Says the Gemara. There are 4 simpletons, not melachim, that also don't get olam haba. Bilam, so we're going with the same theme that everybody like Achav was Ach of. Everybody's name shows who they are. So what does Bilam mean? Bilam Bilayam. One shot is he has no connection to Klal Yisrael. One of the kids asked me in Shir, I think it was the Hebrew Shir, it's like Bilam, like he's a guy. Yeah. But as we're going to see right now, first of all he's a Navi. He's in a Madrega. So just for that he should go to Olam Haba because he has connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu a lot more than we do. He receives from the Rebbeinu Shalom. But also, question, does a guy get Olam Haba? Does a guy go to Gan Eden? Does a guy get Olam Haba? What do you say? Only Chasidim, and what if he's not a Chassid? He doesn't do anything bad. He doesn't do Avodah Zarah. He's just a guy. What do you say? He keeps He goes? Okay, so let's see what the Gemara says here. So, Dover Acher, Bilam Shebila he confused the nation. Throwing this out there because I think it's a crazy thing if it's true. That more Jews were lost in America than in Nazi Germany. More than 6 million Jews were lost forever in America from intermarriage.
Generations.
What?
Not at one time.
Not at one time. Yeah. And I think, I don't know if it's true, I think it happens more often with Israelis than with Americans. Because in Americans, the parents always say, whatever you do, don't marry out. Israeli parents never even say that. So when they come to America, they don't even know there's such a thing. Huh? Pinkos, Rebel wine. Okay. So it was said before. Ben Ba'ar, he's the son of Ba'ar. Shabal Be'ir, the famous thing that he had relations with his donkey. Tana, who Ba'ar, who Kushan Rishal, Sayim, who Lavan Arami. This is the same person. So this is difficult to understand because Lavan, we know, was Yaakov Avinu's shver. So how could it be the same person as Bilam, as Ba'ar? So they say it's the same family tree or the same neshama. Okay. Bar Shabal Be'ir. Kushan Rishosayim that we said before, and we can explain soon. Kushan Rishosayim, David Shtei Rishois B'Yisrael. He did two terrible things. Achaz, B'mei Yaakov. In the days of Yaakov, what happened to Yaakov? Says Rashi, it's like 4 lines from the bottom on the right side. Achaz B'mei Yaakov, Sherodav Achrov, Ubigish Lakar Akol. And on the side it says, very interesting, I thought it's interesting, so I highlighted it. Haggadah Shel Pesach. I've never seen it. I'm not a big maven in Masorah Shas, but usually he brings Gemaras and Shulchan Aruch. And over here, the source is Haggadah Shel Pesach. That Lavan wanted to destroy Klal Yisrael completely. How? I guess by intermarriage, by getting them off the derech, by talking them out of Yiddishkeit. The Shoftim, and the second time was in the time of the Shoftim. Umashmoy, Lavan Aram Ishmoy. Ksiv ben Bar, Ksiv benoy Bar. Is he the son of Bar, or his son is Bar? Amar B'Yochanan Bilam. Avi benoy huloi benevios. Bilam was a greater Navi than his father. Bilam, hu deloi osi la'amad asi, asked the Gemara. It says in our Mishnah that Bilam doesn't have an olam haba. So it seems like Hashar Goyim Achrinu Asu. Sticking the word goyim, it was taken out in the censor, but it seems like every goy in the world has olam haba. So the Gemara says, it's in fact machlokes. Reb Shua says yes. The Sanhedrin Reb Lezer Omer, Yeshuv Rishon l'Shoyla Kol Gam Shchechi Elikim, Yeshuv Rishon l'Shoyla L'Paish Yisrael. These are the ones that go to Gehenim, Rishon l'Shoyla to Gehenim. These are the Klal Yisrael that does averos. Kol Gam Shchechi Elikim, Elu Umas Ha'olam. The ones who forget Hashem, these are those from the nations. What, all goyim go to they don't get it? It's only the goy that forgot Hashem. But if you're a goy that does the right thing, then you have Gan Eden, you have Olam Haba. Because I don't want to be confused between Gan Eden and Olam Haba. He argues, Maninu kol goyim shchechi elikim. Goyim who forgot Hashem, they do have a desire, they go to Sha'ila. Everybody else, Jews, Goyim, they all go to Gan Eden. I'm just saying, because when I was in the mirror, and I was arguing with a Yerushalmi guy in Bati Ungarin about, I remember what it was. I was like, why do you guys take flags off people's cars and steal them? Isn't that the Shikol Gneva? No, the Medina, this, that. And as I'm arguing with him, his mother is on the porch, she screams down, Redish with the guy. Don't talk to the guy. So Baruch Hashem, I as a guy go to Gan Eden, according to this Gemara. Bilam himself said, I have a sign. Omar. Thomas Nafshi Moisi Sharim. Thomas Nafshi Moisi Sharim. If I'll die a regular death, normal death, then I'll be like everybody else. If Hashem will take me away, early death, I'm not going to have Gan Eden. Both the elders of Moav and the elders of Midian, you see that both of them are in the pasuk. Tana Midian and Moav lehoylem shalom moalam. These two, Midian and Moav, they're in a fight. Their whole life, they're in big fights. These two nations. You have two dogs. Here, two dogs. They hate each other. They're in a constant fight. But when it comes to the common enemy, the wolf, they get together and they'll destroy the enemy. That's what happened to Moav and Midian against Klal Yisrael. That's our nace. We all know that's our nace, that we have the Sunnis and the Shiites and they're fighting. But they should both be very matzliach, and that's the nace. Because if Chas v'Shalom, they didn't have that, then Mitzad Sheni, we have also to go fights, whatever. We need Shalom and they should continue fighting. It's all good. One day, a wolf attacked one of the dogs. Omar Acher, so the other one says, if you don't help me, this is all the third lashon. If he kills me, tomorrow they're going to go on you. But we have to get together and kill this wolf. A weasel or some rat or whatever it is, they hate each other. They're constant fighters. A guy told me that he had a factory, and there were a lot of mice, a lot of rats in the factory. You know, American factories with hundreds of rats. If you put poison one eats the poison, feels like he's dying. He tells his friends, "Don't touch this poison." Seriously. They have a certain code that they tell each other you can't poison them. What you could do is you could give them like a blood thinner, and then they get a wound, and then they bleed out or whatever. Then they don't chab, they can't tell. It's impossible to get rid of them. So this guy had a great idea. He's going to bring like 50 cats, buy 50 cats, put them in there. When everybody leaves, put them in there, lock the door, and they'll take care of business. Came the next morning, 50 dead cats on the floor, because these rats are not they're not pashut. So you have a rat and a rat, or here we'll make a better picture: a weasel and a rat and a cat. They'll get together to kill the common enemy, or not the enemy, the common meal. They'll make a geschmacka meal out of the ilula. They'll make a chasana, a wedding, mitarba, from the fat, the bish gada. The bish is the bad, the unlucky guy. Okay, so Rabbi, I want to pause here for a second, because bitula zehu kiyuma. So let's go back here for a second. There's an amazing bot. If you have WhatsApp, it's kedai for you to put this on your phone. It doesn't cost you anything. Either you take down the phone number on the bottom, or you scan it. Okay? The phone number is 050-567-1404. What? 972. So if you're in America, you have to do plus. Here, it says on the bottom, even on the left in small, it says 972. Plus, it's not 972 plus, it's plus 972, I think. But anyway, what you do is you make this one of your contacts in your phone. And then you have this bot. If you don't know what a bot is, it's basically there's no human being on the other side. It's a robot. So what you could do is you could type in, like it says over here, Sanhedrin Daf 13. You do it in English, Sanhedrin Daf 13, or in Hebrew, Sanhedrin Daf Yud Gimel, and within 2 seconds, literally, you get the video of the shir and all the pictures and the videos and everything else, and the Gemara. So if you're going on a trip and you want to download shiurim, instead of going to YouTube, it takes 10 minutes until you find the right one. Go into the bot. In English, I think it's in English. One of them, Dave, which one is it? They just write daf. No, whatever. One of them, I do English and Hebrew. So one of them, I just write the word daf. Dalet pay. No, it doesn't work in English. It works. DAF. It gives you these daf. Fine. There's another thing you could do is you put the word status. Put the word status, and it'll give you a new video for that day. So what we're asking the Olam is, because we want to get thousands of people to join Makkas. So first, download this thing. You could do status without this, but this makes it easy. You go into this. Here, there's a little video that somebody did yesterday. Kobe did this. You scan it here. You're scanning it. Then it populates. Then you put the number into your phone, and then you click on it. And now you write status. He does it in Hebrew. If you do status in Hebrew, it brings up the status in Hebrew. And if you do status in English, it brings a video in English. Here, this is. You did it? Which one? Brachas? Right. So in English, it's going to start from Brachas. In Hebrew, it only starts from Baba Mitzia, because we started Mil Balkan.
Wrote it in English too. Brachas too.
Yeah. Okay. So here, this is the status of that day that tells people to join the daf. Once that video comes on your phone, any video, any picture, so you just click on it and you forward it to status. And then some guy out there, because you have a lot of contacts, some guy out there might join the shir. Usually people join. And when that person joins, all the mitzvahs that he does goes to you, like we learned just 2 days ago, that if you get somebody to do a mitzvah, it's your mitzvah, as if you did the mitzvah himself. So if you get somebody to learn Torah, like the guy said, it changed his life, and his wife thinks he's a better person, all those chusim that goes to you. Also, you will get a brand new Gemara, Be'ezer Hashem. I don't know exactly how it works with the status, but if you get somebody to join the shir, and you're part of the shir already, you get one of these. A salami is if you are new, and if you're really, really new, and you want to go get it $250, you're still eligible. I think 500 people already signed up to officials mitzvah.mo. Mitzvah MO, motivators, MO. You go over there and you have to fill out the form and whatever. Okay. All the new people, Be'ez Hashem, that are joining the shir, we're going to put them through groups and we'll let you know how it goes. Be'ez Hashem will retain them. And here's another thing. If you're part of the group, wow, I have 4 more minutes and we're still on Amud Aleph. If you're part of the group and you every day you check in, I did, you'll get another free Gemara for Shavuos. Let's keep on going. Why only Sari Mayav? There's no mention of Midian. Bilam told Balak, stay here overnight, let me ask Hashem, let me see what's going on. Amru, so they said, is their father hates his son? If you're going to ask Hashem, Hashem is going to say, no way, don't kill them. I guess the Israelis got it from this Gemara, I'm not kidding. In Eretz Yisrael, you tell somebody I can't do it, they say, but maybe you could do it anyway, maybe this, and you keep them pressure, right? Typical American, you tell Dr. Epstein, I can't do it. Okay, I understand, he walks away. An Israeli, no, you can't do it, but I need you to do it. But I told you I can't do it, but you got to do it. Okay, I'll do it. You have to ask 3 times. That's called chutzpah. Even when you do such a thing to Hashem, it works. How do you know? Hashem said to Bilam, don't go with them. And all of a sudden, go with them. What happened? Because he asked them 2 times. When you have chutzpah, it's like a kingdom without a crown. The Melech said, I can't deal with Yoav who killed Avner. He had a chutzpah. Okay, so the chutzpah won out. Bilam, we had this the other day. Bilam, he was handicapped. One of his feet didn't work. Shafi is 1, singular. Shimshon, I didn't know this. Shimshon, he was a chiger b'shtei raglov. 2 of his feet didn't work, and nevertheless he was able to do so much damage to the plishtim. Shenema shvifain, which is plural. A little bit of a picture here. There's no Revayim. I'm going to be behind, I think, but what are we going to do? There's a Noishach Ikvei Sos, in slow motion. And he flies, Bilam was blind in one eye. He used to do kishuv with his bris. Like we had before, that he brought neshamas and the bris, and they used to tell him stuff. Awesome by Haman in the Megillah. Haman Noifel Alamito was Arayas, Bris. It Marmazut Rabba Koisba Masoya. Marbre the Rabino Amar Shabala Alasoinoi. He had relations with his donkey. What's the idea of relations with the donkey? So I said this before, but just I think it's interesting. In order to achieve the highest levels of Ruach HaKodesh, and you have to be Davak and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you have to do a lot of mitzvahs, learn a lot of Torah. In order to receive the opposite, the reverse, the koyach hatuma, to do kishuv and to do all these things and receive, you have to do the worst of the worst. What's the worst of the worst? Relations with an animal. And that's why the pasuk of kishuv and the pasuk of Baal Behema are together. Like we said, it says by Sisra and Yoel that she had relations with him, she willingly had relations with him to kill him, to weaken him up, but it's a lashon of relations. Turning of the daf, sponsored by Adar Global, one-stop shop for all your financial needs, and Kinnovations LLC in honor of our sons, Kalmo, who's 12, and Yisrael, 9, for learning Sanhedrin with Reb Eli. Beautiful thing. And the 9-year-old, I guess, he's the one that wrote us that he's not eligible for the $250 for the $1,000, but he did it anyway. I don't want to spoil it, but I think the official is going to surprise him with something. Not $1,000, but something for a 9-year-old. The famous Gemara, Boy said of Amud Beis on the top. Bilam knew the thoughts of the Rebbeinu Shalom. As the Gemara, he doesn't even know his own animal's mind. He knows HaKadosh Baruch Hu's mind. What's the story? Why are you riding this stubborn donkey that puts your foot in the... Ride a horse, it's normal, it goes when you tell it to go. I sent my horse to graze out in the vegetation over there, the moist vegetation. So now all of a sudden the donkey starts speaking. Imagine if you have a donkey starts talking. Me personally, I would have fallen right off the donkey. He doesn't flinch. He says, no, what do you mean you're my donkey? Latina Bama, you're just, I use it as a pickup truck. I don't use it to ride it. So Rabbi Yonatan just asks, what language was this going on? If this was in Lashon HaKodesh, nobody else understood. It wasn't embarrassing to him. He's about to embarrass him real good. So we're married. That's embarrassing. And if it was in his language, but the Torah says it in Lashon Kodesh, which language do you think it was in? So it comes out that it seems like it was in Bilam's language, so everybody heard what was going on, and he was really embarrassed by it, but the Torah translates it into Lashon HaKodesh. So he says, no, Asher Chafta Alai, says the donkey. No, you ride on me. Akroi Ba'am, no, once in a while. You're my spare car. No, you always used to ride from day one. Oh, this is good. You have relations with me at night. I thought when I saw this is what hit me, so I'm going to share with you. This happened to Bilam. He thought he would get away with it, nobody would know about it, just an animal. All of a sudden the animal opens its mouth and spills the beans in front of everybody. I think we can relate to this also, that Lasad Lavai, we get up there and there's a movie playing. There's a movie that plays in front of it. They bring all your family, they have a big theater, your family sits down, all your friends, and they say, okay, here's the life of Eli Stefansky. Go. He did this Aveira, this thing, this Lashon Hara, this Mevaish Pnei Chaver B'Rabim, all this stuff. And the other one's like my father's sitting and crying. It's not right. But it could be more than that even. Based on this, it could be your cell phone. Your cell phone starts talking. It says, you know what you watched on me? You know the screen of your computer screen, the light bulb in your bedroom. You know what I saw? They come. This is a donkey speaking, but the things that are part of your life that you think you get away with it. You're by yourself. No, you're never by yourself. You don't know who's going to speak up and testify in front of everybody.
Donkey spoke in Assyrian.
In Assyrian?
Yes, spelled Assyrian.
Why is that?
Spelled Assyrian.
Oh, I got it. I'm not going to repeat. How do you spell it? Okay, I got it. I got it now. Benny didn't get it because, okay, he doesn't know the word. But okay, Zok the Gemara.
Wasn't funny, maybe.
No, it wasn't. It says by Bilam Haskin by David HaMelech, famous of Torah, that the Melech David Zokim Baba Yomim v'lo yicham loy. So he brought Avishag to warm him. It's called Tzechenes. It's a lashon of relations. Elamai v'yudei das elyon. Now I'm not saying that David had, but it's like v'yudei das elyon. What does it mean? V'yudei das elyon. Sheyudei l'chaben oisashah. The famous Gemara in Brachas. A lot of people know this Gemara because you learn Brachas. It's in the beginning of Brachas. That's before you fall off the bandwagon. Yeah, I know. Is there a van outside? Yesh tender b'chutz shemachakeh. Tachol l'stakeh shniya. Who? Okay, real quick. The night of Gamaliel Navi Yisrael. So Bilam, what was his trick? He knew when HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets upset for a moment, and at that moment he says the curse, and it's all over for Klal Yisrael. Remember what he wanted to do. To know Hashem, the tzedakah Hashem did with us. Hashem says to Klal Yisrael, "Do not kama tzidkos asiti imachem." You should know I did a lot of great things for you. Whatever that means, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was upset. But during those days that Bilam wanted to curse, I saw somewhere, I don't remember where, that it was during Aser Simei Tshuva, whatever it was. But there was a certain day. These days, Hashem didn't allow Bilam to curse. I think my wife is calling already. Yes. Okay, I'm finishing up. I'm coming out. Had I been upset, then
See you tomorrow.
Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, no, I'll walk to the house, but let me just finish the shir. I'll walk down to the house. Bye. Yeah, 2 minutes. Bye. Okay. That how I can't curse if Hashem is not upset. So I can't say Yeshua Berman's pshat, which I said yesterday. Hashem didn't. So hold on. Let's just continue a few more lines. How much is Hashem upset? Rega. For one moment, the time that says that it takes you to say a 3-letter word, rega. And there's a famous Taisus. Taisus says, if it's only rega, how could Bilam curse in 1 second? So you could say the word kalaim. What? He could say kalaim. Or Taisus says, once you start, then you can continue. So the Aruch HaShulchan says, if so you could start Shemona Esrei before Zman Tefillah and finish it after, but everybody argues on him. We're going to have to sing for a second. Uzgor de los chovadecho, chavike madrega, amavad yavovoy zova, chavike madrega. Have a wonderful